The artist begins by mixing two components that allow the resin to work. 2 parts of resin for 1 part hardener. The mixture is then stirred until it becomes homogeneous and transparent. Then, the artist uses a stick to control the pouring over the liquid art panel. It is recommended to allow the resin to stand for a few minutes before applying it to give it a chance to thicken, which allows for added precision during the application. Then, she uses a well-known product from the mixed media program, the Sand Texture Gel. Here, the white sand gel is being used. This product is easy to spread with a spatula. Then, the artist adds some modeling paste, which can also be manipulated with a spatula. Like the resin, this product is great to add some dimension to your piece. Another dimension adding tool, the Sound Relief, which lets you create edges and shapes onto your piece. Now, the artist is mixing up some studio acrylic colors and prepares to add color to the piece. Obviously, she waited for the other medium to dry before covering them with paint. You can use a standard brush to apply the paint, but you can also obtain different results by using other tools, like this wet tissue she is using. You see the difference of color and texture? As shown here, you can even be creative in the tools you use or in the application process. She is now adding Vitrail colors over the glazing resin. Paints always need to be stirred, not shaked, prior to application. You can see that the liquid art panel is really effective at containing the paint. She now adds Fantasy Moon and Prisma colors to the piece. Finally, to complete the piece, she is using Jetio Relief Gilding Paste, which is the first step to use the Mirror Effect metal leaf. The metal leaves add a metal touch and texture that stands out from any creation. For this example, the artist starts by creating a 3-dimensional background using the glazing resin. She's also using a popsicle stick to have more control over the pouring. When she's done, she spreads some modeling paste over the surface to create even more dimension and texture. She also adds gloss gel, which also creates texture. Once everything has dried, she mixes up 3 studio acrylic colors of her choice and starts spreading them over the 3-dimensional background using multiple tools. She keeps on adding colors until she is satisfied. The fact that the studio acrylic colors mix so well gives you unlimited choices of color to play with. Now, she is combining some lightning medium with vitrail in order to lighten up the color. Then she moves on to combine vitrail, fantasy moon, and prism paints together on the piece to obtain unique and amazing results. Here, you can see the paints reacting with each other in an accelerated time lapse. Finally, when everything is fully dried, she adds relief gilding paste, which she will be covering with a metal leaf once it has become transparent and sticky. In this close-up, see how the glazing resin has added dimension to a piece, and notice how vivid the colors are once dried. For this piece, the artist first lays down a layer of black gesso. Then, once it has dried, she begins with the first of 2 steps of the application of the crackling effect modeling paste. In this step, she is applying the undercoat, which will create an adhering base for the crackling effect modeling paste. This coat requires 1 hour of drying time. While waiting, she continues working on the piece by spreading high-density modeling paste with a spatula over the other areas. She then adds white sand textured gel, which she spreads following her inspiration. When the previously applied first component is finally dry, she can spread the crackling effect modeling paste over it. The crackling effect will appear gradually over time as the modeling paste dries. It can be expected to be completely dry in about 12 hours depending on the thickness of the application. Once everything has dried, after about 12 hours, she begins to color the piece with some studio acrylic color and the lemon vitrail color, which she lightens using the vitrail lightening medium. Once dry, using a dropper, she drops some glazing resin she previously prepared following the instructions on the package. After letting the resin cure, she pours some Prismacolor over the piece and spreads it with a stick. She finally adds some moon to the sky to make this piece even more unique and filled with spectacular effects.